Hello, and welcome back to the channel. This episode I'll be switching gears from talking about just action figures to talking about one of my favorite vintage Star Wars playsets. This episode I'll be talking about the vintage Kenner JABBA the HUTT playset. As per usual, I'll be looking at play features, articulation, accessories, paint apps, as well as the packaging. The mighty JABBA is one of my favorite characters from Return of the Jedi, so naturally I think his playset is one of the best in the entire vintage Kenner Star Wars line. But am I just looking at it with rose-colored glasses on? Does it actually hold up 43 years later, or is it massively overhyped? Let's find out in this episode. Hello there, I'm Retro Roy and welcome to my YouTube channel, where I'll be posting short, bite-sized videos of vintage action figures and collectibles from my modest collection. I'll take viewers on a journey of discovery as I break down several different action figure lines, one figure, ship, creature, and playset at a time. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you have fun, and I hope you learned something. So let's get started!
Retro Roy Talks Toys!
Once again, welcome back to the channel. If I can get personal for a moment, Return of the Jedi was one of, if not the first movie I ever saw in theaters. I distinctly remember my father taking little 8-year-old me to the theater in 1983 to see it. I also remember the hype and build-up to the movie. I remember my older sister cutting out newspaper articles about the upcoming movie's release and putting them into a scrapbook. I also remember really upsetting her when I colored the lightsabers on one article that had a photo of Luke and Vader fighting on the second Death Star. So I want to take this opportunity to finally say to my sister, sorry I colored in your scrapbook, Lisa. I honestly don't remember when exactly it was in 1983 I saw the movie. You see, my father is a now retired, proud member of the Canadian Forces, and we were living on Canadian Forces Base Lahr in West Germany when the movie was released. Doing research for this episode, I see that Return of the Jedi was released in North America on Wednesday, May 25th, 1983, and released in West Germany on Friday, December 9th, 1983. So when exactly I saw Jedi in the base theater remains a bit of a mystery to me. What isn't a mystery, though, is how much I enjoyed the movie. I remember marveling at the amazing moves Lando and the Falcon were pulling off in the space battle at the end of the movie, the awesome action by my favorite character, Luke Skywalker, flipping off the diving board and catching and igniting his green lightsaber. I remember freaking out when he lit up that green lightsaber. I may have even yelled, "It's green!" to no one in particular in the theater. I also remember trying, and failing, to hold back tears when Nanta the Ewok dies during the Battle of Endor. Is Jedi the best movie of the original trilogy? Not by a long shot, but it is the most nostalgic for me. Now, on to JABBA. JABBA the HUTT for Return of the Jedi was created by a creature effects team led by the legendary Stuart Freeborn, with the character itself sculpted by the amazing artist John Coppinger, based on the designs by both the master of Go Motion Phil Tippett and Star Wars concept artist Ralph McQuarrie. JABBA went through a plethora of different designs, some of which included him resembling an ape, a worm, a snail, and an almost human Fu Manchu type of character. This tall, vaguely humanoid character design would later be revisited in issue 2 of the Marvel comic adaptation of Star Wars. After the design was mostly nailed down and approved by George Lucas, the next task was to create the JABBA puppet itself, a process which took 3 months and cost a reported $500,000. The puppeteers responsible for bringing JABBA to life included David Barclay, Toby Philpott, and Mike Edmonds, who were all members of Jim Henson's Muppet Group. Barclay operated the right arm and mouth, while Philpott controlled the left arm, head, and tongue. Edmonds was responsible for the movement of JABBA's tail. What the team at ILM created was an incredible puppet that looked great on screen and just as good in plastic.
The Force is back. The rebels won't tire till they see the last of the Empire. And Kenner's there with Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
The next prisoner, Gamorrean guard.
Gladly, Jabba the Hutt.
C-3PO, Gamorrean Guard, and Jabba the Hutt playset each sold separately.
Kenner released the vintage Jabba the Hutt action playset in 1983 with a retail price of $11.99 and was primarily sculpted by David A. Miller, an in-house model maker and sculptor working for Kenner at the time. I feel that Kenner truly outdid themselves with this release, packaging Jabba the Hutt in a box set that includes not just Jabba himself, but also his throne, a pipe with a bowl, a side railing that plugs into the base, and even a tiny, adorable Salacious Crumb figure. The throne is really impressive, featuring opening doors that reveal a hidden prison area. Inside, you'll find various skeleton pieces, a lizard, 4 kinds of rat-type creatures, as well as a snake. The doors are cleverly operated by turning the 2 outer gargoyle heads on the front of the throne, while the 2 gargoyle heads in the middle have holes in their mouths where a string that is supposed to represent a prisoner's chains can be pulled through. Not much to say regarding the paint on the throne, but it is molded in an off-white tan kind of plastic for the main parts and grey plastic for the gargoyle heads as well as the hookah holder. The little salacious crumb that comes with the JABBA playset is a great little sculpt that sits perfectly on the end of JABBA's throne. He has no points of articulation. His paint is perfectly simple and suited to this little figure. I'm a big fan of the design of the Kowakian monkey lizard, so much so, I actually own a life-size one. This little fella was just too big to do on any of my 3D printers to make, so I had a friend of mine print him up. Thanks, Alex. I built and painted him, and he has a place of authority next to my TV where he sits and judges everyone that comes down into my collection room. If you're interested in this, I'll show more of my life-size figures in a future video. JABBA himself comes with an impressive 4 points of articulation. We have movement at the head, the tail, and each of the arms. The action feature on this particular JABBA the Hutt figure is found in his head. When it's moved side to side, the tail simultaneously moves, bringing a slug-like quality to this figure. The body is constructed from a hard plastic shell, and he has a great sculpt with several lines, wrinkles, scales, and marks to relay the mass and weight of JABBA. It's also interesting to note, Kenner gave this JABBA the Hutt figure 3 fingers on the right hand and 4 on the left. If I were to hazard a guess about that, it's Kenner sculpted an opposable thumb so JABBA could hold his pipe. For those of you who play Star Wars trivia, if you ever come across a question asking who in JABBA's palace has a tattoo on their right arm, now you know the answer is actually JABBA himself. This little-known tattoo can only be seen briefly in Return of the Jedi, but it was enough to have Kenner faithfully and surprisingly reproduce this small detail in plastic form. Now that's attention to detail. Good job, Kenner! The paint applications are simple, yet effective, and represent the movie character nicely. As far as variants in the sculpting of this JABBA figure goes, there are no known variants other than the difference in placement of the Hong Kong country of origin stamps. Nothing to get excited about here. Now the variants in packaging is a different story. There's a pretty major difference in the packaging, as you had the regular release, which shows a great full color picture of JABBA on the front and the back, but there was a Sears exclusive box, which is known as a line art box, that has green and black line art on a white background. The end flaps were left blank, and it's the same artwork that is displayed on the front and the back. Because this box was a Sears exclusive, it is the harder to find of the 2 boxes. Well, there you have it. There's a quick breakdown of the JABBA the Hutt playset. At the beginning of this episode, I asked if the playset holds up to today's standards. I truly believe that with the excellent sculpting, the attention to detail, great paint work, super cool action figures, and the accessories it comes with, I truly feel that it does hold up. This was a great playset when it was released, and it's still a great playset today. If you don't have one of these in your vintage Kenner collection, I highly recommend it. Is this a playset you had in the 80s? Do you still have it now? Do you also have a Kowakian monkey lizard guarding your collection room? Did you also cry when Nanta the Ewok died? Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you on the next episode of
Retro Roy Talks Toys.